interior slash exterior, the inside and outside of my Suburban house number 8. I shouldn't have to tell you that if you want to follow this video along, you should probably already have this house built right here. But if you don't worry. All you'll have to do is follow the tutorial. To find that, you can head into either the card system or the description below, and you'll find a link for that there. It'll probably take you about 50 minutes. I know that's quite a long time, but if you want this amazing looking house, and if you want to make the modifications to it that we're about to, then you kinda need it, don't you? So it'll be in the cards, it'll be in the description below, including some other links for other builds that we're going to be using in this particular tutorial. That's right, this is also going to include other things that I've made in the past, but I'll explain that later. I think that that's probably about enough talking, guys. If you do enjoy this video, please give it a like. It's not going to change anything other than the fact that it'll just make me a little bit happy. That's all it'll do. I'd love it if you guys could just give this video a like. It just put a bit of a smile on my face. I love seeing loads and loads of likes. I really appreciate it, guys. I honestly do. But that is way more than enough talking, guys. Let's talk about what we actually need for this house. So we're going to be starting with the ground floor first. We're going to do the interior, then the exterior. On the ground floor, we're going to need some oak wood stairs, some spruce wood slabs. We'll need stone slabs, wooden trapdoors. We'll need limestone clay, green stained clay, birch fence, glowstone, and we'll even need black wool. And I'll tell you what, we'll need even more than that. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to grab some torches instead of the black wool for just a moment, if I can, because I want to light up the interior of this house just a little bit. So I'm going to be placing some torches in some inconsequential places, basically in spaces that they won't really make too much of a difference. This I would not recommend for you unless you have a problem seeing, but for the purposes of the tutorial, I'd much prefer that you guys can see. So I'll just have to suffer a load of ugly torches around the place. But that's basically what I'm doing here. I'll just light up the ground floor about as much as I need to. And now we can actually continue on with this. I'd rather you guys be able to see this stuff, so just get rid of the torches and I'm going to grab the black wool again. So, we're in the living room. This is the living room. This front room, as soon as you come in, it's on the right. This has a couple of things. First of all, it has a sofa. In this back right-hand corner, we are going to want to have a row of 4 green stained clay coming from the back corner towards the front. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to place a limestone clay in front of the first and fourth blocks with a row of oak wood stairs in between them. We want to do wooden trapdoors in front of the lime clays, like this. Also, if you like, you can place a plant pot on one or both of the arms. That's just kind of like a mug. Place 2 spruce wood slabs in front of the 2 seated parts of the sofa, and they want to be 1 row away. That's just like a normal coffee table, something to put your feet on. That's what I like to do anyway. On the wall facing it, we want to, starting from just right of the entrance, we want an upside down oak wood stair, 2 spruce wood slabs going right of that, and an upside down oak wood stair. We want to do 2 rows of 2 black wool on top of these slabs that we just used, the spruce wood slabs. Now we're going to actually have to get rid of this torch because it's in the way. But we're going to want to do spruce wood slabs going all the way around the top of the TV that we've just made like this. And it doesn't want to reach the ceiling, we just want a row of slabs at the top of it like that. Gonna get rid of the black wool for a while. I don't know why I have 2 lots of black wool, and I'm going to grab some buttons. And I'm just going to place buttons here and here, like that. Now, I'm going to place a lamp in the corner of the room. So, in the corner of the room that the sofa is, we have a lamp. The lamp has a stone slab on the ground. It has 1 birch fence in the corner. It has a glowstone on top of it. And then we're just going to place like a spruce wood slab on top of that. I like that. It looks kind of lampy. Alternatively, you could place it even closer to this so that it isn't conflicting with anything, but I kind of like that as is. This is the living room. It's quite simple. If you like, also lay some carpet. I might be trying that a bit later. Moving to the dining room now. So this is the dining room. We have a living diner. We want to have, first of all, we want to find the... this is kind of difficult, but we want to find like the 6 middle blocks in the floor. So like this. Can you see how we've just knocked out 6 blocks and they have like 2 blocks all the way around them? So we found like the 6 middle blocks that we have managed to maintain a distance of 2 all the way around them, and we've destroyed those, right? Well, what we want to do, we can get rid of the spruce wood slabs, we don't need stone slabs, and we'll need some block of redstone and some pistons. We want to place the block of redstone directly onto the ground and then pistons on top. This will form a table. We then want to grab our signs and our oak wood stairs, and we want to, in kind of like a random pattern, to be completely honest with you, in a random pattern, kind of just place 4 chairs around the table. And place signs on the side of those chairs. Those chairs could be made out of spruce, those chairs could be made out of oak, they could be made out of anything. That they probably shouldn't have signs placed directly on top of them, but you guys get the point. You can kind of make the chairs out of anything, and if you want a more standard table, then you can do that as well. We've just got the last chair to do here. Boom. On the wall, I opted to put a painting, right about here. Or maybe even here, a bit lower down. I'd like a 2x2, maybe here. Here would be nice. I'd like a 2x2 painting. I've not even seen that one before. This is one of the paintings that I wouldn't mind, but I actually want, you know that painting with the creeper on the beach? That's kind of the one that I'm aiming for. I'm guessing that because I want that, it's probably not going to show up. But you know what? That'll do. That's quite nice. That's quite lovely. I think that that is a scene looking out a window. But that's okay. This is the dining room. Very easy, and it doesn't let us place flower pots on the pistons, unfortunately. As a matter of fact, I don't know what it does let you place on the pistons. But if it let you place these pressure plates, for instance, I want to place those. Does it let you place slabs? Just out of curiosity, does it let you place slabs? It does, but they're a bit too they're a bit too thick. Does it let you place carpet? Because carpet would also be good. You know what? There we go. We've made this thing better. This is a white tablecloth that we have just applied to our carpet. I bet we can't add flower pots on top of that. No, of course not. That's ridiculous. But we've now made that table a little bit better. We've added a tablecloth to it. Adjust the color of the tablecloth if you like. But that's the dining room. Anyway. Let's move into the kitchen. So, the kitchen is just across the hall. There's only 3 rooms on the ground floor that you have access to immediately. And we're going to have to make a very simple adjustment to the kitchen first. We are going to destroy its floor. The kitchen's floor must be destroyed because it is going to make room for a new, better, lovelier floor. A pattern that I like to do in kitchens that set kitchens apart from just about every other room in the house, except sometimes the bathroom, because sometimes I do like to change that too. I just destroyed the torch off the wall, silly me. I like the black and white kind of like chessboard pattern in the kitchen. I think that it looks good, it easily allows you to identify that something's probably a kitchen, and I think that adds some much needed variation throughout a house. Sometimes these houses, they look a bit dull, they look a bit bland. Liven it up a bit. So I'm going to just finish this pattern. It's just a standard checkerboard pattern in the kitchen. Nothing difficult about this whatsoever, but there we go. That's what that wants to look like. Something else that I did as well, which I'm messing about with here. I think what I want is we need a block of quartz. Those are both iron, silly me. So this wall that we have here that is going to eventually take us into the garage, I want it to be block of quartz. Originally, birchwood planks is what I used in the previous video, so your wall should also be birchwood planks. It can stay birchwood planks. You guys can make it whatever color you want. I'm making mine quartz. Plus, what you can also do is you can leave a space for the door that will take us into the garage. This space is on the left-hand side of the wall, and of course it just wants to have enough room for a door. Eventually, the downstairs will have doors in place, like actual proper doors, like just wooden doors or something, but for the moment we just have spaces. And I'm also going to illuminate the place a little bit more. There we go, just to make it a bit lighter and brighter. Fantastic. Okay, let's talk the kitchen. We'll talk the far wall first of all, the wall that you see as you walk in. We're going to need some block of iron for this. We're also going to need some buttons. We'll need buttons for this. We'll also need wooden trapdoors. We also need item frames. We also need the music disc style, the black one. And this is what we're going to do. So starting on this white checkered tile, we want to do 2 blocks of iron stacked on top of each other. Right of the iron, we need the block of quartz of this. We want to do a block of quartz. We then, going right of this, want to do another block of quartz. In front of the first quartz, place an item frame with a music disc in it. In front of the right one, do a wooden trap door. There we go. Place buttons in front of the iron, and what we have here is a fridge freezer. This is a washing machine, or it's supposed to be a washing machine, and this is kind of like a dryer. You may have better ideas for these. Something that may work better for the dryer, thinking about it, may perhaps be a stair. If it's possible for just to add a bit of variation, if it's possible for us to have a stair, there we go. So it actually looks like you could put something inside of it. I don't know, it's kind of up to you. You may even want to place like buttons on top of those. No, that looks kind of bad. Yeah, I'd leave that at that, to be completely honest. So, in the corner of the kitchen here, so on this wall just to the right as you walk in, on the floor going from left to right, first of all we want to have 2 blocks of quartz in the floor. We then want to have 2 spruce wood planks, which we don't have but we can use these slabs, and we want to have 2 oak wood, no, then 3 oak wood planks, but okay. We want to do 2 spruce wood planks, like this. We then want to have, why don't we do 3 oak wood slabs? And we'll have the slabs suspended like this. And then we want to have a stone slab and a furnace. And we want to place first a stone slab, then the furnace, then another stone slab. I'm going to get rid of the stone slab for a second, and I'm going to grab some stone brick stairs. I'm going to place an upside down stone brick stairs above the furnace, like this. I'm going to add, because we're supposed to have loads of cupboard space and stuff, I'm going to add a wooden trapdoors on top of, come on, I know I can do this somehow, there we go. Wooden trapdoors on top of the 2 quartz blocks. Why did it let me do it with that one but not that one? Why? What sort of tomfoolery is this that it's not letting me do it to both of you? You know what? Fine. You know what we'll do instead, since they're not cooperating, is we'll place the wooden trapdoor on this first one, and then we'll place a wooden pressure plate on the right one. And we'll also do something just to change it up a little bit, maybe a button on the right one as well. That'll keep people guessing what that is, because I don't even know. What we then want to do is we actually need a stone pressure plate, and it'd be nice if we had a plant pot. That can replace, what do we need? We don't need the furnace. We want to place a plant pot here on the left spruce and a pressure plate on the right, a stone one. Then we want to place wooden trapdoors in front of each one of these 3 wooden slabs. That is the right hand side of the kitchen. You may also want to have some sort of flower coming out of that plant pot, because that's kind of what that is. It's just supposed to be a lovely plant pot. I would suggest an orchid, because I like orchids. The last thing that we have to do in the kitchen is we have kind of like, what are these things called? They're called islands, where you can like do stuff in the center of the kitchen. This lines up like this. So where we have the fridge here, we want to be 2 rows in front of the fridge, so on top of this next black block, and we want to have oak wood slabs out. We want to have our polished andesite. We're also going to keep out the stone pressure plates, and we need some stone slabs. We also need the cauldron this time. Where are you, cauldron? There you are, lovely. We also need the tripwire hooks, and I don't think anything else. So, going left of this, on top of this block, we want to have a row of 5 oak wood planks. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course I've just got to bump these up to planks. I then, in front of this left one going right, want to have a plank, then a stone slab, then I want a cauldron, then I want a stone slab, then I want an oak wood plank, like this. Behind the cauldron, place a polished andesite with a tripwire hook in front of it. Now I'm going to place stone pressure plates here and here next to this faucet, which is what this is, and maybe even on the entire back row I'll place those, because why not? I might also... No, I won't do anything else. If you like, though, what you can do is you can grab a bit of water and you can fill the actual cauldron with water. And you know what? I'm actually going to destroy this left-hand side of pressure plates just to keep it a little bit more interesting. And I might even grab, like, the wooden trapdoors and I might... You're not going to let me... You're not going to let me place on top of you? Okay, fine. You can be cupboards then. Fine. Fine. Be that way. I don't care. I care a little bit. I might also use a flower pot as a bit of as like a cup just to have here. And if you wanted to, other stuff that you could include, I'm running out of inventory space like nothing else. Other stuff you could include, like you could in front of here, for instance, like next to the cooker, or maybe like hanging off the side of here. Oh, I kind of like this idea. I just had an idea, guys. I just had an idea. So, like in this space here, you could have like a spruce wood fence, and you could place like an item frame in front of it. I kind of wish that was a little bit taller, maybe? Let me see. Come on, guys, I have an idea, trust me. Okay, that's a bit tall. Okay, whatever. So, you know how you have those things in kitchens? We'll get rid of the spruce wood fence. You know how you have those things in kitchens, like you have the hanging utensils? Would it make any sense to have kind of like a utensil tree? So you could grab like a load of knives off of it, diamond swords, or forks or whatever. Does that make any sense? Or maybe you could use these for the mugs. Maybe it may make more sense to use this like mugs going all the way around here. Does anybody know what that is? It doesn't matter, but this is the kitchen. I'm sure that you guys understand. This is the kitchen anyway. So let's move into the garage. The garage is really easy, and this is one of the very few rooms that we will actually do kind of like off recording a little bit. The garage, first of all, we're going to have to completely refloor the garage, and we may also want to seal that hole. I have so many materials, guys, I could really do with a cleanup. So I'm just going to grab the birchwood planks here, and where we can now see underneath the house, I'm just going to add a layer of birchwood planks so we can't. I'll also do the same thing here as well. And what I'm going to do now, just to show you kind of like what the garage looks like, I'm going to completely knock out the floor of the garage. I shall replace it with polished andesite, and I will add a car. So some of you may have just noticed that the video just cut out completely abruptly. That's okay, that was supposed to happen. The reason for that is because I was having trouble explaining what I wanted to do, and I figured it'd just be easier to do it and then come back to it. So, what has happened with the garage? I've completely ripped up the floor, replaced it with andesite. That's easy enough to do by yourself. I've also added a staircase, which is just andesite and stone brick stairs. Again, very easy. Plus, I added a couple of chunks of glowstone to the roof, which, again, very, very simple. Something that is not so simple is I have added a car to the garage, just to make it a bit more interesting. Now, the garage could stand to be a bit bigger, but the car absolutely fits in here, and it looks great. You'd be able to see it even better if it was actually outside. But this is the car. I have a separate tutorial for the car. I have made this a really long time ago, and should you want to add a car to the garage, you don't have to. That link will be in both the card system and the description below. Or type into my channel like TSMC, car tutorial. This thing will come up. It looks great, it's fully customizable, and it will take you less than 10 minutes to put together. So that's what we've done here with the garage. Something else that I'm also going to do is I'm going to add like a very, very long workbench on this outer side of the wall here. So I'm going to start off with a row of oak wood planks. I'm going to do wooden trapdoors in front of those oak wood planks. These are supposed to be massive, massive storage spaces. I'm going to do spruce wood stairs stacked on top of each other. Or, you know what, I'll have an upside down one and a regular facing one. The regular facing at the bottom, upside down on top. I'll connect those together with a row of spruce wood slabs at the top here. And then I'm going to place like an item frame every other block. So we'll have one, miss one, have one, miss one. Does that pattern work out? It doesn't quite work out. So, well, how will the pattern work here? Okay, so the pattern doesn't really want to work. So what I'll do is I'll just fill all of these spaces in with item frames. And then I'm just going to put like random tools in the item frames. We've kind of ran out of stuff, so I'll just grab stuff like an anvil maybe, like a cauldron, a furnace, a crafting table. I mean, these things could be added to as well, actually thinking about it. I mean, you don't have to have an item frame per se. Maybe you want to have like an anvil, and maybe you want to have like a brewing stand, and maybe a furnace, and then maybe a crafting table, and then you could put tools in each one of the remaining slots. And this is just to kind of show that the garage is kind of like a utility space, mainly taken up by the car, but a utility space nonetheless. That's something that you might want to add to your garage. Well, that's the garage done. Why don't we discuss something else? So, what was in that item frame? Oh, that's where I was going to do like the mug tree or whatever it is, but it doesn't matter. You might also want to add like a brewing stand, by the way, to the kitchen. That's something that you may want to add because I mean that kind of like serves as kind of like a kettle or something, maybe like here or somewhere. So that is the ground floor done completely. That's the ground floor. There's nothing much more to it. Let's talk about the second floor. So the second floor, we're just going to use some birchwood stairs for this and some quartz slabs. No, you know what? I'll actually use stone brick stairs. It doesn't matter where the staircase goes particularly. I'm going to have it take up as little space as possible. So I'm going to cram it, yeah, about here, I think. I'll have the staircase here, starting right at the back of the house, right in the back right-hand corner. I'm going to allow one block to step onto on the second floor, and then I'm going to run stone stairs coming all the way down in front. There we go. And then I think I'll have, yeah, I'm going to have quartz slabs next to the stairs, like this. Just quartz slabs next to the stairs like that, running up. Nothing difficult about that whatsoever. So this is the staircase. Feel free to add additional things in here if you want. Some things that you may want to add into this little hallway here. Some people, they have like little tables and stuff in the hall, don't they? So you may want to add like a table, and you may want to add, to make it look a little bit less bland, little paintings and stuff if you like, if you want to make your hallway a little bit less dreary. But bear in mind, if you do that, you are going to clutter it a bit, and it's already a bit tight in here. Let's move on to the second floor. So the second floor, if I could actually access it, which I can now, oh, you know what, that's a thing. So I won't be able to walk up and down the floor like this, will I? That's a shame. So live and learn. What we've got to do is we've got to move the staircase one row backwards. The reason for this is because the entrance to the bathroom on the second floor, the entrance to the bathroom will not allow us to actually like to have the staircase where we want. So we've got to move it right back towards the wall here. That's okay. And then we'll have the stairs run down. But that, you know what, that's all right. Typically, I'd cut something like out like this of the tutorial, but why not leave it in here? Why not see that sometimes, you know, these things don't pan out? Unfortunately, sometimes things don't pan out. We've had to move the staircase one block backwards, but we can still get onto the second floor, and now we can actually access the bathroom as well, which is right here. Shall we do the bathroom first? Let's do the bathroom first, since we've actually highlighted it and we've talked about it a little bit. So to do the bathroom, we need a multitude of materials. We'll need some stone slabs. We'll need quartz slabs. We'll need quartz stairs. We'll also need tripwire hooks. We even need silly things like flower pots. We also need some white stained glass pane. We need a hopper. Where are you? We also need, we need so much stuff, guys, it's unreal. We need like oakwood slabs, and we need wooden trapdoors. Okay. Let's start with the shower. So the shower is in the back corner of the room, in the back corner of the house. We want a row of 2x2 quartz slab on the ground, with a row of stone slabs surrounding it. We want to have a row of 3 white stained glass panes suspended above each one of those stone slabs, except for the left hand side here, where we want to leave a gap of 1 so that we may actually enter the shower. So that is what the shower wants to look like. We want to add a hopper in the corner here against the wall. We also want to add a tripwire hook that looks very much like a control for the shower, and we can also add a topper onto the shower as well, whether that wants to be quartz slab or whatever material you want to use. That's a shower, or about as close as I can get to one at the very least. What else do we need? So we need a bath. I'm not telling you smell, but we need a bath. In the opposite corner of the room, we want to have a row of 1, 2, oops, Why can't I access that? There we go. Something was in my way up there. Okay. And we want a row of 1, 2 slabs. Maybe even 3. Yeah, 3 slabs. And then we'll do upside down quartz stairs bordering the bath. Like this. We want to have a tripwire hook on the wall. That acts as like a switch, as a tap. And we'll have a flower pot on the corner. And that's just, I don't know, like shampoo or, you know, whatever you want it to be, basically. Facing the shower on this wall, we want an upside down quartz stair. No, we want a quartz slab with an upside down quartz stairs in front of it with a quartz stairs on top of it. Right of that, we want to have an oak wood slab with a wooden trapdoor in front of it. We can get rid of the hopper and the flower pots for a while, and we can grab a cauldron. We'll want to fill it with water, and we want to place a cauldron right of the wood with a water bucket inside of it. We then want to do a stone slab right of that, like this. And now I'm going to grab something to make a mirror with. If you've got a better idea for a mirror, do that. But I'm going to do an item frame. That's a painting. I'm going to do an item frame with white stained glass in it. It doesn't look like a mirror at all. I wish I could replicate a mirror. Maybe I should look into this. I'm going to place a tripwire hook in front of the cauldron as well. And I'm also going to place blue carpet in the toilet, because this is the toilet in the corner. And here we have a pretty decent looking bathroom. It's a little bit dark, but you know what? It's a bathroom. Looking pretty good if I do say so myself. Let's move on to another room. So that's the bathroom taken care of. Why don't we take care of the second smaller room upstairs? So there's a bathroom, there is a small bedroom, and there is the master bedroom. In here we're going to need some spruce stairs. We'll need ourselves some oak wood slabs. We also need some probably oak wood stairs and probably some spruce wood slabs as well. We'll also need some beds and a chest. Okay, on the back wall, in line with the 2 middle glass here, we want beds. Either side of those beds, we want spruce wood stairs. Extend those stairs forward by 2 with the oak wood slabs. Connect them together at the bottom with spruce wood slabs. Place a chest either side of the bed. On the wall facing, oh, we need to fill it in a bit. We'll also need some birch planks. On the wall facing, we're just going to add an L-shaped, well, kind of like a sideways L shape with our birch planks here. And we also want to place a block above the door, leaving us this rectangular shape. We want to place a row of 2 upside down spruce wood stairs on top of each other on the left and right hand side, starting from the bottom. We then want to do a row of spruce wood slabs right at the top. We then want to place 2 chests in the center, and then we want to do 2 oak wood slabs to connect things together right in the middle. This is basically just a fancy looking storage space. There's not really too much more to this. Let's leave this room and let's move our way into the master bedroom, which is what this is right here. So something that we actually have to do to the master bedroom now that we're here is we have to add a layer of birchwood planks on the inside wall. This will cover up any sort of pillar blocks that we've used. It will also shrink the room, and it will make it so that we can actually make the room symmetrical instead of what it is now, which is, well, asymmetrical. So I'm also going to grab some torches so we can light this up. I wish I would have remembered to do this with the other rooms. A bit silly of me, to be honest with you, but here we go. We can actually light it up so we can see what we're doing. So once you've added that inside wall, we now want to add a bed. The bed is just right of the entrance as you walk in, and it has 2 beds in the center of the wall. We want to have oak wood planks left and right of the bed. We then want to do 2 tables next to those planks. They want to be comprised of 2 opposite-facing upside-down oak wood stairs. On top of those chests, or on top of those tables, we want to have double chests. In front of the original oak wood planks, we want to have spruce wood stairs with a spruce wood slab extending them, with oak wood slabs connecting them in between. We then want to grab some beacons and place beacons on top of the oak wood planks, like this. We then, facing the bed, we have a TV. The TV is going to be made of, we need oak wood stairs. We also need these spruce wood slabs. I'm going to make the TV out of block of quartz, quartz stairs, quartz slabs, a bit of black wool, also item frames, also buttons. The TV is in line with the split in the bedroom between the two windows. So we want to trace this, and we want it to be in line with the ends of the bed. So the TV wants to be where the bed is, basically. And it wants to start with an upside down oak wood stairs, like this. It wants to be connected, the two ends of the TV connected with two spruce slabs like this. So what we want to have, basically in line with the bed, we want upside down oak wood stairs with spruce slabs connecting them in between. We want to have a row of 2 by 2 black wool right on top of these spruce slabs, and then we want to have a block of quartz surrounding the TV, and maybe we'll even shrink the TV a little by doing quartz slabs on top. I'm going to add buttons right at the bottom of the TV, and I think that I'm going to put item frames on top of those, and I'm going to do something like, maybe I'll use like cyan stained clay. It's kind of like speakers or something coming out of the TV. I think that looks alright. Behind the TV, we want to have, and this is very simple back here, we just want a couple of seats, so like oak wood stairs and some signs, and we also need ourselves some like some spruce fence, and maybe even a little bit of colour as well, so like some green carpet and a bit of painting. Okay, so back here we just have like 2 seats, thrown randomly about, preferably on the right hand side of the room, nearest the windows. On the seats, we just want our signs either side. We want a bit of a table in front of these seats, so we just want to have 4 spruce fence in a formation, with green carpet stacked on top. That is basically, like I said, just a table. Let's put a painting on the wall. I actually really like that one, and quite fortunate that that one has actually sprung up. That's quite decent. So, there we have the room. If you like, you can also add something to the back of the TV to make it look a little less hideous from the back. So you may want to add, you may just want to cover it up with some quartz slabs, and obviously you'd have to move the chairs, but you guys get the point. I'm not so bothered about covering up the back though, just because it's me. And this is the master bedroom. If you want to add more things to this, feel free. I'm not adding anything to it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the interior of the house. We have completed the living room. We have completed the dining room. We have completed the kitchen, the garage. We have also done the master bedroom. We've done the bathroom, which is very dark, and we have done the second bedroom as well. If you like, add doors onto each one of those places. It's completely up to you. But that is the interior of the house complete. But as you guys know, that's not the only story with this house, is it? We're also going to do the exterior. Let me figure out what materials we're going to be using for the exterior so I can grab them off recording, so this will take less time. Okay, so I figured out what we're going to need for the outside. We'll need some block of quartz, some stone slabs, some polished andesite, some cyan stained clay. We'll need birchwood fence, some grass blocks, some oak wood stairs, some wooden trapdoors, and some poppies. Ha! I didn't take a breath during any of that. We'll also need a load more things. You might be able to see them in the inventory now, but that's a rough estimate of what we'll need, plus probably some more stuff that I've forgotten about. So, once you have each one of these materials, and you might want to just catalogue what we have here, we can begin work on the outside. So, first thing we're going to do is extend the garage and extend the walkway. So, the garage is going to be extended out in front of itself by 7 blocks. So, that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that, and we just want to destroy the 7 blocks. I'm going to count that again, by the way, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, just make sure I've got it right. The 2 end rows of the garage want to be quartz, so the 2 end rows that you knock out, make those quartz. The center rows, however, will be cyan stained clay. This is just a driveway for the car. Conveniently, the driveway will also house the car. So you may want to extend this even more if you wanted to put a car on the drive. Kind of up to you. I'm not going to force you to do anything. You guys can kind of do whatever you want, but you may want to put a car on the drive if you so choose. Okay. Not only do we want to extend the driveway out in front by 7 blocks, but we also want to extend the left-hand side of the pathway taking us to the house in front of the house by 7 blocks like this. Replace that with block of quartz. What we then want to do is we want to take the 7th block of quartz that we have in the ground, knock to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3, replace that with stone slab, knock out the 4th block, replace it with block of quartz. We then want to knock upwards, and we want to knock upwards by 1, 2, 3, and 4. Replace those blocks with block of quartz to give you this shape. What we now want to do is a little bit tricky. So we want to take this 4th block of quartz and we want to knock right. We want to bury into the ground right, and we want to knock all the way around the house, as a matter of fact. We want to go all the way around the house, and we want to maintain a distance of 2 all the way around the house, as I'm doing now. So we want to maintain a distance of 2. When we get to the back of the house, just behind the garage, or behind the kitchen I suppose, we want to just keep doing a straight line. We don't want to come inwards, and we want to keep knocking right outside the house, and we want to leave that gap of 2. This gap of 2 will persist all the way to the very front of the house, as you guys may be able to see, and it wants to eventually end up in line with the garage. So we then just want to replace that empty space with block of quartz, and this is going to frame where part of the fence is going to go for the house. We're not going to do the final area of the house until I explain to you some of the options with the garden, but these are some of the lines of the house that are kind of integral, so we're not going to mess about with them so much. But you can see here, we're kind of just planting the foundations for the house at the moment. Okay, once you have that line taken care of, what you now want to do is this. So on the very left hand side, where the row that we just dug stopped, we want to take this end quartz, we want to knock left of it by 3. 1, 2, 3. Replace those with quartz. You then want to take that 3rd block, extend it backwards, and keep extending it backwards until it is about as long as you think. Now this is subjective, it's up to you, until you think you have an area that your garden will sit in. So you may want a massive garden. That could go all the way over there if you wanted to. I don't want a massive garden. Mine can be about as long as this. I'm not so concerned. Well, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to come all the way over to the opposite side of the house at the front. I'm going to start from, you see this block here where we have the path that would lead us up to the house, where we have this quartz that comes inwards. We want to take this outer quartz and we want to knock to the right, and we want to knock right until it lines up with that opposite row of quartz here that runs up the side of the house. And then we want to go further than that, and we want to knock to the right by 1 and 2, like this. Then we want to take that 2nd block and we want to extend this backwards until it supersedes the house. And this is going to be the opposite end of the garden. So if you want to line this up with the previous row that you have over there, I'm trying to line this up as best as I can, and then I can kind of like, oh, I think that's it, and I'm just going to connect this to the opposite side. This is going to be filled in with block of quartz, and remember, the bit on the front I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change how the I wouldn't change how the quartz and stuff interacts with the house on the front and the side, but as soon as you get out of the back of the house, that is when I would start choosing, like, do I want my garden to be massive? Do I want it to be small? Would I like a massive tree house there? Do I want a tiki bar there? Do I want a duck pond? Do I want this? Do I want that? Do I want the other? Like, you've got to choose how big you want your back garden to be, and you just, I mean, you can change it at any time, obviously. It's easy to change, but just make the decision now for the sake of boundaries and for the sake of the tutorial, like how big you think you want it to be. This garden is going to have a little bit going on in the back, but not too much. And what I'm making now will absolutely be enough. So you can see that I'm just laying the boundaries, and this is going to be just about all of the block of quartz that I have to add to the front of the house. You can see that there, right? Cool. Okay, next thing I'm going to do. With my poppies, because I love my poppies, I'm going to do a row of poppies either side of the garage. This is going to separate the garage from the walkway at the side of the house and the walkway coming up to the front of the house. I'm also, just because I love them so much, I'm going to do a couple of rows of poppies running up the left-hand side of the house in this empty space. And it's going to come about as far back as here. And I'm just going to have 2 rows of poppies. Use poppies if you want, use another flower, put something more interesting here. Up to you. I just like poppies a lot. Red's my favourite colour. Okay, next thing that we're going to do. We're going to make 2 planter flower beds. These are going to sit in here, inside these 3 rows of grass that we have at the front of the house. They're going to look like this. We want to have a grass block with an upside down oakwood stairs in front of it on the end. So just to explain why it looks like it's a bit difficult actually, but we just want 2 massive rows of grass with oakwood stairs on the end of them, and we only want 2 of these rows like this, and we want to place wooden trapdoors in front of and behind, and these are just 2 massive planters. Something that I've found that I like with suburban houses is I like simple gardens and I like simple colour schemes with these particular kinds of houses. Maybe you're a bit different, maybe you want to innovate a little, but I like it just as it is. I like simple flowers. I don't like mixing it up too much. I like to keep poppies, simple flowers that clash with the white and clash with the pale, and I have a big giant planter in front of the house, and I think that looks great. 2 more things that we have to do. We have to add a fence around the property. This is going to start just in front of this planter, running all the way from the entrance, all the way from like the path. This is going to run from that side, and it is going to go all the way around the house. We have some more complicated things to do with the actual like the stonework and stuff for this house, but we'll add it in just a moment. Actually, that's going to be the next thing that we do. The front is just about done at this point, but once we've added this fence, which will come as far as, it's actually going to come as far as the garage, or the path next to the garage. Like we're just running up the left-hand side of the house now, and we're just using our birchwood fence to wall off this house from anyone that wants to come and ruin our lovely suburban house that we work so much on. So it's just going to come about as far as here, and there we have a nice fence to separate us from anything that wants to come and kill us. So a couple more things that we'll have to do. We have to do a road in front of the house, or you don't have to, but I'd suggest it. First, we need a pavement. I'm going to dig 4 rows in front of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to do this all now. The first 3 rows will be occupied with andesite. The 4th row will be occupied with block of quartz. Then I'm going to dig 5 more rows out in front of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first row will have cyan stained clay in it. The next row, block of quartz. The next 2 rows cyan stained clay, and the final row, which I haven't dug, boom, will also be block of quartz. If you want, you can use some white wool for contrast in the center row. Okay, let me explain. These first 3 rows are going to make the pavement. These will be extended from the left of the house to the right of the house, and andesite will be in there. Same thing with the quartz, extend from the left and right, and andesite will be in there. Same thing with the cyan stained clay, same thing with the other quartz. The white wool is slightly different. These are road markings. These are the center part of the road, and it lets you know that, well, which side you should be on. So we can take this white wool, and we can extend this to the right by 2. 1, 2, like this. Then we can leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can knock out 3. Then we can leave a gap of 3, knock out 3. And then leave a gap of 3, knock out 3. Leave a gap of 3, knock out 3, and just be careful to go as far as, I actually made a mistake there, and you just have to be careful to go as far as the end of the actual build. So if you have a look, if you adhere to the pattern, 3, miss 3, 3, miss 3, it should line up perfectly with the very right hand side of the house. That's how the road should go. These can all be filled in with white. The surrounding area, cyan stained clay. Everywhere else is basically a mix of stone and quartz. Something else that I'm going to do whilst I cut out is I'm going to dig around the house. You see this path here that kind of goes around the house. We have quartz in between it. It even goes as far as the left-hand side of the garage here. I'm going to knock out all of these grass that will come as far back here. And inside this area of quartz, I'm going to knock all of this out and replace it with stone. I think the easiest way to do this is to cut out, do it, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I'll be back in a second once I've completely ripped up all of this turf and replaced it with all of the relevant materials. It's one thing talking about it, it's another thing seeing. So I finally finished doing the road, the pavement, and the path that goes all the way around the house. I'm sure that you guys will have no problem with this. So the path, like I said, 3 rows of andesite, 1 row of quartz. We then have the road with a row of quartz on the opposite side of it. You can see how this thing gets filled in. We already did the hard part where we actually marked in the road markings. The path that goes all the way around the house is actually very, very logical, and I actually missed a little bit back here. I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm kind of glad that I did, and I'll explain why in a second. So, I realised that the path and the pavement and everything will take you some time. If you need to, pause this video. Once you've got that done for yourself, hit play, continue with the rest of us. So, right at the back of the house here, you can see we have this hole, but we'll deal with that in a second. Right in the very back corner of this house, we want to have a row of 8 blocks knocked out at the back corner of this house where we have this patio with the quartz. It will look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Replace that with polished andesite. Destroy the row of 8 in front of it as well. Also replace it with andesite. Destroy around the andesite where you need to. Replace around the andesite with a block of quartz. Then, fill in the surrounding area. If you haven't already, I imagine you guys wouldn't have missed this like me. Fill it in with stone slabs. Like this. This back area that we have here, this is going to be a barbecue. That's why we've left this alone. In the very back left-hand corner, we have a seat. That's a spruce wood stairs with signs either side of it. We then, right of this, we want to have leaving a gap of, we leave a gap of 1, and we want to have a row of 4 polished andesite. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then, leaving a gap of 1, we want to knock into the ground, destroy 2 blocks. Place a redstone with a piston on top. That is, of course, a table. In front of the polished andesite, going from left to right, we want to have 1 bricks. Then we need a furnace, or 2 furnaces actually. Then we need 2 furnaces. Then another bricks. We also need some stone pressure plates. Stone pressure plates are placed on top of the bricks. We want to have some slabs and some upside down stone brick stairs. The slabs go on the ends of the andesite and the stone brick stairs go above. This is difficult to place. The stone brick stairs, you want to have 2 upside down ones above the furnaces. So we want to have something which should look like this. That's a very simple barbecue. This is a seating area. Okay. There's a couple things left to do at the back of the house here. So that's the house and the road and everything done. What are we going to put in the actual garden with this massive plot of land? Well, we have a few options. So first of all, I'm going to have a bit of a seating area somewhere in the back here. It doesn't matter where. This is all up to you. You can change the shape and size of all this stuff, but just to give you a bit of an idea what to add, this is what I've added. I've added a bit of a seating area. It's kind of a rectangular shape, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and then we'll extend it this way by, let's say, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to form a rectangle in the ground. I'm going to make the perimeter of this rectangle, I'll make it stone slabs. I'll fill the center of it in with regular bricks. Inside of this, I'm going to add, once I've added the bricks and stuff, I'm going to add a table and a chair. This is going to overlook a pond. I'm going to make a pond that we can have a bit of a look at on the back garden. So I'll put a table like here, let's say, and I'll put a chair here. So this is another chair that you can make. It can be made up of spruce wood fence or any kind of fence. It's 4 fence in a square on the ground, and you raise up the 2 back ones, and that looks like a chair. There we go, we have a nice chair and a table. This will overlook a pond. The pond is going to be filled with cobblestone slabs and water. Well, the perimeter of it is cobblestone slabs and it's filled with water is what I should have said. I'm just going to make a random shape. Just a bit of a random circular shape. I'm going to make a fairly small pond. I'll edit the shape of it in a second once I've found out what we have here. So this is the shape of the pond. Yeah, I want it a little bit further this way, like this. So I'll destroy some of those blocks. And I want it less of a random shape, so I'll have it come about as far as here or so. I don't want it to come out that far. And I would like it to be less of a weird shape like that. I think I prefer something like this. That doesn't look too bad. And I'm going to destroy the center of it, replace it with water, as you would imagine with a pond. I'm going to throw a couple of blocks of grass in there. I'll actually leave one of these alone just to save me placing one, maybe that one there. I'll leave that one alone. I'll place water around it. I wish I would have placed two. You know what, I'll just grab another grass block here. I'll place one there as well. Fill that with water. Whoops, I have accidentally... Boom. And then I'm just going to place, like, let's say... It doesn't really matter what you use. I don't actually want to use poppies, but, like, flowers or something inside the pond. You may also want to add maybe a lily pad or two. Depends how big your pond is. Where'd the lily pads go? There we go. So maybe, like, a very single lily pad in the center. There we go. That's a pretty nice-looking pond with a nice bit of seating area. The last thing that I plan on adding to the garden here is a treehouse. These are things that I love adding to houses. Very, very simple tree houses. Now, I haven't made this yet, and I won't make it in this recording, but I have several treehouse tutorials on my channel that you would easily be able to follow along and construct in this very backyard. I'll leave a link to it in the card system and the description below, but, you know, first of all, why don't I show you the treehouse? I'm going to build a treehouse very quickly, I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll tell you where you can find it and stuff. Back in a sec. Okay, so the last thing that we had to add to this house was this lovely looking treehouse. Now, the one that I would show you how to make in the tutorial that I've made doesn't look exactly like this one. It actually looks a little bit better. I spent a lot more time on it, and I show you how to make it really, really look amazing. This one's a bit smaller and a bit lower to the ground just for the sake of this tutorial. If you want a treehouse tutorial that looks fantastic and fits into your suburban house or any other house really, or if you just want a treehouse, you'll find that in the card system and the description below. It is an excellent addition to this house and loads of other houses. It's so cool to come out the back and see like a tree house. It's like another little mini house. I love it. It's fantastic. So you can, like I said, you can find this tutorial in the card system and the description below, along with the car as well. That's another tutorial that will be tacked onto this. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the last of this house. That is the last thing that I'm going to show you how to build. Let's take a quick look around it on foot, and then we'll wrap this up. So, we come up to the house here. We carefully cross the road as we have a look if anything's coming from the middle of it. Kind of dangerous, actually. And we can walk up into the house, and we can ring the doorbell. Bring, bring. Anybody in? No, I think I'll just open the door anyway. So we have the hallway here, we have a table that we can set our keys on, we can have a little bit of a look around. I wish I had a hat stand that would be useful. And in here, we turn right and we have the living room. We have a TV, we have a sofa, we have a coffee table, a light, everything you need in here except a vending machine. In the dining room here, we just have a table and chairs, which is how I'd like a dining room to be set up, nice and simple, with a bit of a tablecloth, which is actually kind of a cool addition. Over here in the kitchen, the kind of final room on the ground floor, we have a pretty decent looking kitchen. I'm actually quite pleased with this design. So we have a nice, maybe I'll do a kitchen tutorial or something. I could do a better one than this. So here we have an island. We have everything that we need. We have a tap. We have kind of like a kettle, a brewing stand. We have kind of like a mug tree slash utensils tree. We have loads of storage space. We have a cooker. We have cabinets. We have a washer, dryer. We have a tumble. We have whatever this thing is. All sorts of stuff in here. We have a garage. We have a car in here. Plus we have loads of storage space, and we have a load of tools as well. Very cool. I do love that space on that side of the garage. I do love this storage space. Coming into the hallway, we can transcend onto the second floor if we come up here. And inside of the master bedroom, we have a bed, we have some storage, we have a funky looking TV. Back here we have a table, we have some chairs, we have a lovely painting. We also have a nice balcony that we can look out and see, well, nothing. Actually nothing from here. If we move into another one of the rooms, we have a bathroom, which is actually looking a bit dark. I wish somebody had flicked the lights on. We have a bath, we have a shower, we have a toilet, we have a cabinet, we have a sink, we have a mirror. That's supposed to be a mirror. I'm going to have to look how to find a better mirror on Xbox. Here in the last room on the second floor, we have just a regular bedroom with some storage space, kind of like a really weird looking modern wardrobe cupboardy thing. Very cool, very cool. Outside, if we move outside, we can... Let's start on the front yard. Why not? We have some nice flower beds on the left. That's looking lovely. We have a nice driveway. We can choose which way round we want to go around the house. Why don't we take the scenic route? Why don't we actually walk along this path? We can see the movie theatre very close. Maybe we'll even catch a movie later. Play some bowling. Maybe we'll even do that. Back here we have some lovely things to look at. But if we want to, if we're hungry, we can have ourselves a barbecue. We have a seat. We have a table. We have a barbecue that's looking pretty decent. Did I say that 3 times already? Let's make this the third. We have a barbecue that's looking pretty nice. We have a nice seating area if we get bored of the barbecue. We have a chair and we have a table that overlooks our little pond. That pond's looking lovely. Right back here we have a treehouse, which looks absolutely fantastic. It's a pretty nicely designed treehouse, despite the fact that I just whipped this up in about 2 minutes. But up here we have like a little crafting table. We have a chest. We have a bed if we want to sleep outside. And we can have a look back at our house and we can see how pretty it looks. That's the house, guys. That's the inside, that's the outside. Of course, there's a separate tutorial for the actual house itself, and hopefully you've enjoyed this one. It was fun designing the inside of this house. I always like it when I like build a house in the interior like at the same time, rather than building it because you guys have requested it. And that's what I've done here. This was perfectly tailored to this particular house, and I hope you appreciate it. If you did like this video, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate it, guys. I honestly would. Comment down below. What would you like to see next? Let me know what sort of videos you'd like to see. Follow me on Twitter. You can do the same thing at TSMC 360. Check out the cards and the description below for some of those. You know what? The only things I'll leave in the card system in the description below, I'll leave you the tutorials that are necessary for this house if you want the car in the treehouse, plus I'll leave you the Suburban House 8 tutorial as well. But that's more than enough talking, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.